I heard that you work for Asia Foundation before, and they had a survey in 2013, and about a third of Afghan, mostly Pashtuns and rural Afghans, had sympathy for AOG, armed opposition groups. Primarily the Taliban. And nearly two-thirds of Afghans believe that the reconciliation between the government and AOG will stabilize the country. So why do many Afghans still support Taliban?
I think the other day, I don't know if you were in the seminar I was explaining, because some part of the countries are very tribal, particularly the Pashtun area, and they share the border with Pakistan. Most of they're not exposed to the modern world, or not exposed to, they're not only from religious perspective, but they're very restricted by cultural issues and tradition. So one of the reasons that they are supporting them, because they anyways, because of their tribal beliefs, like for instance, they're against women to participate in the public. So that's one of the reasons. So, or maybe they don't want their lands to be occupied by anyone, because that's in Afghanistan, three things are very important, particularly for the man: money, woman, and land.
Okay.
If you touch these three, then you will be in trouble.
Yeah, I heard that part of the reason is some rural Afghans, they don't believe in government. They don't believe in public institutions.
That's one part, because of the I can give that example also, like, because they don't, the distribution of resources are very unfair. And also the leaders from the south are mainly getting money, not distributing to the local communities. They're corrupt. And the third is, most of them, they don't have the choice to leave their lands, because they have the only land that they can feed them. The land can feed them. And if they leave the land, then they don't have anything what they should do in the cities. So one of the reasons that they support Taliban, they have somebody, because they don't have other choice. So I was overseeing, I was managing the survey program. And I wrote 2 years of this, actually. 2 years of the survey.
So one quote from a person from the Kabul-based international crisis group, he said that why still many rural Afghans support Taliban, because they believe Taliban have certain judicial network, and they can solve some disputes in a fair way without tribal or ethnic bias, or without having to pay bribes, probably because of corruption from the local government.
As I mentioned to you already, that the corruption is one of them. And that's part of the conflict resolution, that they think that going to the tribal leaders is more cheaper, more accessible, more time, from time perspective is very quick, rather than going to the government institutions. So people, in most of the time, but at the same time, because when you're used to brutality, then it takes time for the people to change their minds.
So it also boils down to institution building.
Exactly.
So what do you think is the best outcome for Afghanistan if there is an endgame? I mean, still there are some terrorists, Taliban or ISIS, in some rural places in Afghanistan. So if there is a reconciliation or a total exclusion of Taliban from Afghanistan, if there is an end game, I mean, a finale, a end point in the end, what would be the best outcome in your mind? Would it be reconciliation, stabilization, or total liberation from Taliban rules?
One of the reasons I always criticize the first intervention of international community, that they excluded Taliban from the negotiation and bringing, like, now we have the government, but the only people are excluded is Taliban. If they were also somehow invited to the first place to liberate Afghanistan, let's say, from the more conservative Taliban, and have more moderate Taliban into the forum or into the group. So we may had a different situation.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to exclude Taliban from Afghanistan. One, because like people tried in 38 years to exclude jihadists, but they never did it, and now they are in power anyways.
Yeah.
They will go on and on and on and on, but because this is not the only, these people are, the decisions are not only in the hand of Afghans.
Mm-hmm.
If it was in the hand of us, then probably it might be different.
But also in the hands of Pakistan,
Saudi Arabia, Iran,
influence,
United States, Russia.
Yeah.
You see, the moment that there is... do you know why Afghanistan was bombed last week?
Yeah, ISIS.
No, you know why the major what happened?
Mother of the bomb.
Yeah, this is mother of the bomb. But at the same time, because there is negotiation talks. There will be peace talks in Moscow.
Okay, between
Afghan government and
Taliban. And they will go to Moscow with Putin.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, of course, the United States is saying, okay, what are you doing? You're inviting Afghans. You wanted to get
that's
allies
amazing.
with,
That's a story behind the curtain.
There are so many stories behind. That's why I'm calling it proxy war.
Yeah, absolutely.
And always we have proxy war and proxy peace. Even if we have even if we have a peace, but at the same time, I don't think this will be a real peace. It is more proxy. One of the reasons that it's very disturbing that it's not only us. I think Afghanistan war is international war.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not Afghan war. I don't want it to say that it's not us, but
yeah,
we are part of it. But still, it's not our war.
Yeah.
We are in between of all of these different powers in the region that they wanted to have access to the whole region, and the only place they can have access from is Afghanistan, because we are connecting so many.
Yeah, it's like a hub.
China is our neighbor.
China, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How many superpowers don't want China?
Yeah.
And they wanted to be in Afghanistan because we were sharing border.
Yeah,
with
sharing
China.
border,
So,
20 miles.
yeah, exactly. So that's those are the issues as an Afghan. I could see that it's not just our war. I understand there are so many deep problems in our country, what I cannot deny, and I cannot. It shouldn't be ignored.
Yeah.
But still, there are other hands that it's bringing the instability, because, like, for Pakistan, we are a very good market for their even daily products.
Yeah.
For Iran, we are very good for their daily products.
Yeah.
China is not visibly making anything against Afghanistan. But when they are giving $400+ million to Pakistan, then it means something.
Old friend.
Old friend. So, unfortunately.
Great.
Oh, yeah, sure. Definitely.
I won't disclose your location.
Oh, no, you can't, because I'm on Facebook anyway. Okay, thank you so much for your interest. Do you want... Okay, let me give you my address, my business card. Maybe we can be in touch if whenever you have... Here. Don't use the Yahoo because it's hacked already. Yeah.
Great.